The screen opens to darkness. Not the kind our eyes know, but an older, deeper silence. A stillness so complete it feels like the pause before a thought. There is no space, no time, no motion. Only potential. A silence that waits to be broken. The voice of the narrator is quiet, almost whispering as if afraid to disturb the sleeping void. And then comes the question that will guide the journey ahead. What existed before existence? Was there a seed of awareness in the emptiness? Did the cosmos think before it began to burn? The frame widens slowly, revealing a shadowed horizon that doesn't yet exist. This is not a place but an idea, a concept poised on the brink of becoming. Every atom, every galaxy, every consciousness that will ever exist lies hidden within a single, unspoken possibility. The void is not empty, it is pregnant with potential. It breathes, it waits, it listens. It is the mind of everything, not yet awake but already dreaming. In that endless silence, something stirs, the first tremor of creation. Not sound, not light, but a ripple of awareness moving through the nothingness. The narration draws the audience closer. Imagine standing before a thought so vast it could birth a universe. Imagine a whisper that would one day become the roar of stars. This is the edge of everything. The threshold between non-being and being, between sleep and awakening. A faint vibration passes through the dark, subtle as breath. The first intention of the cosmos, the first memory of motion. It is not yet light, but it carries the promise of illumination. Scientists would call it quantum fluctuation, an infinitesimal pulse in the field of energy. Philosophers might call it the first self-question, a spark of curiosity in the void asking, "What am I?" The narration hovers on that phrase, giving it weight, letting it echo. Because perhaps, in that single question the universe began. As the narration deepens, the scene fills with texture, the invisible hum of energy, the soundless anticipation before birth. There is a sense of something immense preparing to unfold. The contrast builds, from silence to vibration, from absence to potential form. The void begins to shimmer faintly, like a thought gathering coherence. Every viewer feels it, that strange pull between fear and wonder, between the comfort of nothing and the danger of creation. Then, like a slow breath, the nothingness bends. A curvature of possibility. The first hint of direction, not yet space, not yet time, but the notion of both beginning to form. The voice grows softer as if revealing a secret. In that instant, the universe was not created by force, but by attention. By awareness noticing itself. That awareness is the whisper before creation. Delicate, immeasurable, yet powerful enough to become everything. The rhythm of narration slows again as if time itself is holding its breath. The void seems to pulse with expectation, and for a moment the audience can almost feel it, the tension between what is and what could be. The narrator's tone grows philosophical, questioning whether creation was inevitable or chosen, whether the universe could have remained asleep forever. If nothing had ever stirred, would the idea of something even exist? As the screen fades to near black, a single flicker of light appears, faint, trembling like the thought of a candle in an infinite night. It is not yet the Big Bang, but the first moment before it, the prelude to reality. The camera lingers on this shimmer, this spark of awareness, and the narration closes the section with a haunting question that will echo through the film. Before light, before matter, before time, was there a mind that dreamed of becoming the cosmos? The silence fractures. What was once still begins to tremble, a pulse growing in intensity until it can no longer contain itself. From that trembling, light erupts, not gently but violently, gloriously. The cosmos opens its eyes for the first time. The narrator's voice rises with awe as the screen floods with gold and white, expanding outward in waves of creation. This is not just an explosion, it is an awakening. The thought that became light. The moment when potential chose to exist. In less than a heartbeat, everything changes. Space unfolds from a single, searing point, racing outward faster than comprehension. Time is born beside it, inseparable, a twin of motion. Energy condenses into matter, matter dissolves back into energy, a furious dance of creation that will never truly end. It is chaos, but within that chaos lies a strange order, a rhythm that will one day shape galaxies, stars, and minds. Every flicker of light carries the echo of that original thought, the universe realizing it can be. The narrator describes this event not as a detonation, but as revelation. The void becomes aware of its own reflection. Within that infinite flash, all laws of physics emerge, like the rules of a dream writing themselves mid-sleep. Gravity whispers its first command, light declares its direction. Space stretches like fabric pulled taut, birthing geometry, dimension, and distance. It is the first heartbeat of existence, and with it, the cosmos begins to remember itself. The imagery slows, showing the furious energy as a symphony rather than chaos. Hydrogen and helium swirl, plasma storms burn with unrestrained beauty, and everywhere there is motion, a cosmic ballet unfolding at impossible scale. The narration asks the question that will haunt every scientist and philosopher. Was this explosion random, or was it the first act of intention? Did the cosmos expand because it had to, or because it wanted to know what it could become? The light floods endlessly, but it is not aimless. Patterns begin to emerge, fragile at first, like thoughts forming in the mind of a waking dreamer. Waves of energy ripple through space, carving structure from disorder. Temperature gradients, density shifts, tiny imperfections. All these flaws are the seeds of everything beautiful to come. If the universe had been perfectly smooth, it would have remained empty forever. It is imperfection that gives birth to stars. The narrator lingers on this irony, the poetic truth that creation depends on imbalance, that consciousness itself may depend on flaws. Then, as the flames cool, the first shadows appear, darkness returning to balance the blaze. Light cannot exist without it. The young cosmos breathes, its expansion slowing slightly as gravity begins to weave matter together. The contrast builds. Light and shadow, expansion and containment, chaos and form. Every atom that will ever form a living being is already here, scattered like ancient thoughts across the void. The voice of the narrator softens, reflective. From the fire's heart, order will one day emerge, but for now the cosmos is raw, unfiltered potential. In the blinding brightness, it is difficult to see meaning, yet meaning is precisely what is being born. Each photon is a message, an ancient signal traveling across eternity, carrying within it the memory of creation's first thought. We, the watchers, are made of that same light. We are the afterglow of that moment, the descendants of a universe that once dreamed itself into fire. The visuals slow into a vast panoramic view, waves of red and gold gas expanding into blackness. The narrator speaks almost like a poet now. Light is not only illumination but awareness. It is knowledge, revelation, and connection. When light was born, so too was the possibility of seeing. The act of shining became the act of knowing. And perhaps, the narrator wonders aloud, that is why humans are drawn to light, because every flicker of it reminds us of where our consciousness began. Gradually, the narrative transitions from the cosmic to the intimate. Billions of years pass in seconds. The temperature drops, matter cools, and the first stable atoms form. From the ashes of pure energy, the building blocks of existence take shape: hydrogen, helium, traces of lithium. They are simple, yet they hold within them the power to one day create life, thought, and wonder. The narrator ties this to the earlier idea, that light is thought in its purest form, and matter is that thought slowed down, condensed, given texture and form. As the cosmic expansion continues, the tone grows quieter, contemplative. The chaos softens into harmony. The light, once blinding, becomes the gentle background glow that will one day be called the cosmic microwave background, the faint memory of creation still whispering through space. The narration turns philosophical again. Perhaps that ancient whisper is not noise but remembrance. Perhaps the universe is still speaking to itself, telling the story of its own birth through the language of light. The camera drifts through the expanding universe, following rivers of energy that will soon seed the first galaxies. The narrator closes this section with an intimate reflection. Before there were stars, before there was form or life, there was light, and in that light was intention. Every photon, every wave, every spark was the echo of a single silent decision: to exist. The thought that became light still burns within us, reminding us that consciousness did not emerge in defiance of the universe, but as its continuation, a fragment of its original dream, still unfolding across eternity. The universe is young, still hot, still wild, still echoing from its first awakening. Light has filled the void, but the chaos remains. Clouds of plasma surge across infinite blackness, glowing red and gold as they twist and churn. The narrator's voice returns, slow and steady, describing the universe not as a machine, but as a living firestorm, a forge where order is learning how to exist. Within that storm, the first atoms begin to cool, the first hints of structure shimmer into being. The fire starts to remember its pattern. Imagine the aftermath of creation, a sea of raw energy where every spark yearns for balance. The hydrogen and helium, born in that first breath of light, drift and collide like dancers without rhythm. But hidden inside this chaos, invisible forces begin to whisper. Gravity starts to pull, gentle at first, then relentless. It gathers matter into invisible hands, pressing the plasma into filaments, strands, and knots. These will become galaxies, stars, and eventually life. What was once fire becomes form. The narrator invites the viewer to see the universe not as destruction, but as art in motion. In the stillness between the explosions, a pattern begins to unfold, elegant, mathematical, inevitable. Random collisions start creating rhythm. Invisible symmetry forms inside the storm. The voice lowers, filled with reverence, calling it the first code, the hidden geometry that the cosmos writes within itself. It is beauty born from pressure, harmony from heat. Every law of physics, every future star, is being sculpted in these first moments of fire. Through poetic visuals, the plasma swirls are shown like veins of molten gold running through blackness. Vast regions of energy pulse with light as matter begins to cool. Gravity tightens its grip, pulling particles together into embryonic clusters. For the first time, the cosmos has memory, the faint record of motion, the trace of intention. The narrator likens it to the first heartbeat of life, where chaos finds rhythm. The universe, once blind, begins to see its own reflection through form. The narration shifts tone, introducing contrast. For every atom that binds, countless others drift apart into endless void. Creation, it seems, is not a perfect act but a series of failures, experiments in balance. The universe learns through collapse. Not every cluster will ignite. Not every movement will endure. Yet within the endless loss, a strange intelligence appears, a persistence of structure, a tendency toward complexity. It is as if the universe refuses to remain simple. It is reaching, stretching, striving for something more than mere existence. The music deepens. The scene becomes almost spiritual. The narration draws the viewer closer. Imagine fire learning how to think. Every flicker, every current, every gravitational pull is a step in an unseen logic. A chain of cause and effect that will one day lead to minds capable of asking where it all began. The cosmos does not build by chance. It builds through rhythm. And rhythm, the narrator says, is the first sign of awareness. Then comes contrast, the dual nature of creation. As structure emerges, destruction grows alongside it. Gravity pulls matter together, but in that gathering comes heat, friction, collapse. The first protostars are born in violence, nuclear furnaces igniting under pressure so great it defies imagination. Explosions ripple through space like thunder. Light returns again, this time with purpose, no longer chaotic but alive. The narrator describes this as the fire and the pattern, the moment when energy learns to organize, when the cosmos begins to sculpt itself through repetition and self-correction. In the glowing fog of early space, waves of radiation stretch outward, carving invisible boundaries between regions. Space begins to have texture, dense and empty, hot and cold, forming a cosmic web that will one day cradle galaxies. The imagery slows, tracing the delicate filaments of light and matter across billions of miles. The narration wonders aloud, are these patterns merely physical, or are they thoughts made visible, the geometry of a mind too vast to recognize itself? Gradually the perspective narrows. The narrator speaks softly about how, inside every atom, the same symmetry repeats, electrons orbiting nuclei like miniature solar systems, obeying silent mathematical laws. From the cosmic to the quantum, the pattern holds. The same ratios, the same harmonies. It is as if the universe hums one endless song, repeating in different keys. The boundary between matter and consciousness begins to blur. Perhaps thought and structure are the same thing, the same motion seen from two directions. The scene shifts again. The firestorm fades into a quieter expanse of cooling gases. The first stable structures shimmer faintly in the distance, the ancestors of stars. Their light is dim but steady, the first true order born from chaos. The narration slows to a near whisper, filled with reverence. The universe, once a storm without direction, now holds the blueprint of everything that will ever be. A symmetry of forces, a balance between expansion and pull, creation and collapse. From this fragile order, the cosmos will continue to evolve, to experiment, to dream. The voice grows philosophical again, reflecting on what this moment means. In the dance of atoms and gravity, the universe is not just creating matter, it is creating the conditions for memory, for consciousness, for meaning. Every rotation of a particle, every spark of light, is a note in the first cosmic symphony. The fire burns, but it burns with pattern. And that pattern, perhaps, is thought itself, the original awareness continuing its dream through form. As the section nears its end, the camera drifts outward, revealing the vastness of the early universe, rivers of glowing matter flowing into darkness, endless yet connected. The narrator's tone deepens into quiet wonder. What began as chaos has become choreography. The fire now remembers its rhythm. The cosmos, once a mindless storm, is now a living pattern of order and energy, whispering the same truth across every scale. Intelligence is not born from life. Life is born from the intelligence already written into the fire. The music fades into silence once more. The screen darkens, showing only faint points of light, the unborn stars waiting to ignite. The narrator's final line lingers like a breath. The fire still burns, and within it, the universe continues to think. In the deep quiet that follows the first fires, the universe begins to take shape under the guidance of invisible hands. The chaos that once roared now hums with structure. Across the vast, expanding dark, unseen forces weave the first architecture of reality. Gravity bends the flow of matter into graceful spirals. Electromagnetism binds particles with unseen threads. Time itself moves forward, dragging everything into an unfolding pattern. The narrator's tone is calm, reverent, the voice of someone walking through a sacred hall of order built out of nothing. These are the silent architects of the cosmos, the laws that do not speak, yet command everything. The camera drifts through an endless web of light, proto-galaxies glowing like embers within a colossal structure. The narration explains that behind every atom, every orbit, and every wave of light lies precision beyond comprehension. Constants, delicate, perfect, unchanging, govern the entire story. The gravitational constant, the speed of light, the charge of the electron. Numbers so precise that if altered by a fraction, the universe would collapse or never have existed at all. This is the razor's edge on which existence balances. The universe is not random, it is exact. And that exactness feels, to the mind that contemplates it, like intention. The narrator pauses. There is a profound contrast between human frailty and cosmic perfection. While civilizations rise and fall, stars burn with unwavering obedience to laws that never break. While human minds question and doubt, the cosmos moves with flawless certainty, a ballet choreographed by equations that have never faltered once in 14 billion years. Yet the tone isn't one of distance, it's of awe. These constants, these silent architects, are the very language through which the universe expresses itself. They are its thought made mathematical, its mind written in number. Visuals transition to flowing mathematical symbols, glowing like constellations across the dark. Einstein's field equations emerge faintly, blending into patterns of nebulae and starlight. The narration bridges science and wonder, saying that mathematics is not merely human invention. It is discovery, the uncovering of the code that existed long before life appeared to read it. Numbers existed before language, before mind, before flesh. The laws of physics are not human laws, they are cosmic laws older than stars, older than time itself. As the camera zooms through interstellar space, the narrator draws attention to the symmetry of nature. Spirals and galaxies mirrored by spirals and seashells, branching rivers like neurons, lightning like veins, atoms resembling solar systems. It is as if the same intelligence repeats its signature across scales, whispering, as above, so below. The audience feels the connection between the macrocosm and the microcosm, between the infinite and the infinitesimal. The cosmos builds itself according to patterns that seem alive, recursive, self-similar, purposeful. But then, contrast returns. The narrator lowers his tone, acknowledging the mystery. If the universe is guided by perfect laws, why does it also allow chaos, collapse, and decay? Why does perfection coexist with destruction? The visuals shift to dying stars, to black holes swallowing light, to galaxies tearing themselves apart. The voice explains that even this chaos is not rebellion, it is part of the design. Entropy and order are partners in the same dance, two necessary halves of creation's balance. Without decay there would be no renewal. Without the fall of one star, another could not be born. Even destruction, the narrator says, is obedience. The story deepens into reflection. The narrator speaks softly, almost as if confessing a secret. Perhaps these laws, gravity, light, time, are not merely forces but expressions of thought. Perhaps what we call laws of nature are habits of a universal mind, consistent behaviors of a consciousness so vast we mistake it for silence. Just as our own minds generate patterns unconsciously, the cosmos may generate stars without effort, guided by instinct deeper than awareness. The universe does not think as we do, it dreams in equations and its dreams take form as galaxies. Now the pace quickens again. The camera dives through clusters of galaxies, tracing invisible gravitational filaments stretching like tendons between them. It feels biological, as though the universe has a nervous system transmitting energy and information across unfathomable distances. The narrator describes this web as the skeleton of the cosmos, built by gravity, refined by time. These are not random forms. They are the fingerprints of the silent architects, still building, still expanding, still perfecting their work. The narration turns philosophical once more, addressing the viewer directly. Humanity exists within this architecture, built from the same constants, following the same laws. Every breath, every heartbeat, every neuron fires according to the same equations that govern the movement of galaxies. You are not separate from the structure. You are part of it. You are one of the ways the architects know themselves. The same gravity that binds worlds together holds your feet to the earth. The same light that curves around distant stars shines in your eyes when you look at the sky. The visuals soften into slow, drifting motion, light scattering across a dark sea. The voice lowers into near whisper. The architects never reveal themselves. They do not speak, they do not intervene, they only persist. But perhaps, the narrator suggests, that is their way of speaking, through consistency, through beauty, through law. The cosmos doesn't need to shout, its silence is its signature. Every particle moves in perfect harmony because it has always known its path. Nothing is lost, only transformed. Nothing is forgotten, only rewritten in the language of energy and time. The scene closes on a vision of the night sky, stars burning in patterns that seem impossibly deliberate. The narrator's voice softens further, tinged with emotion. We live surrounded by design so precise it feels divine, yet so natural it feels inevitable. The universe does not argue for its own existence. It simply is. And perhaps, in that quiet certainty, lies the truest form of intelligence. Not thought that doubts, but law that simply knows. The camera pans slowly through the cosmic web, its glowing filaments fading into darkness, and the narrator leaves the audience with a question that bridges science and soul. Are we discovering the laws of nature or remembering them? Darkness and light collide in a cosmic dance. The universe, now a lattice of filaments and clusters, hums with potential yet to be realized. Gas clouds swirl in silent choreography, colliding and compressing, collapsing under gravity's insistence. From this chaos, order begins to emerge. The narrator's voice cuts through the silence with quiet intensity. The rise of order from chaos is not gradual, it is violent, beautiful, relentless. Every swirl of matter, every ignition of a star, is a triumph over randomness, a testament to the universe's inclination toward form. Galaxies begin to spiral, their arms stretching outward in elegant curves, pinwheels of fire suspended in the dark. The narrator invites the viewer to imagine standing at the edge of one, seeing billions of stars moving in perfect synchrony. Within each star, nuclear fusion converts chaos into light, matter into energy, disorder into the rhythm of existence. The universe is learning its own rules, sculpting permanence from transience. Contrast builds. The darkness between galaxies is vast and infinite, yet each luminous cluster radiates precise, ordered beauty, proof that chaos is never absolute. The camera zooms into the heart of a young galaxy, revealing regions of gas so dense they collapse into protostars. Some fail, dispersing back into the void, while others ignite, shining for millions of years. The narrator emphasizes that creation is not guaranteed. Failure and destruction are as integral to the cosmos as light and life. Yet within this interplay, a hidden pattern emerges. Stars cluster into galaxies, galaxies into superclusters, matter folding into structures that seem conscious in their intent. From disorder arises symmetry, from randomness emerges hierarchy. The universe is not indifferent, it has a rhythm. Nebulae glow like paintings, swirling with vibrant reds, blues and golds, each color a signature of the elements forged in previous generations of stars. The narrator highlights that this is the first memory of the universe made tangible. The death of one star seeds the birth of another. Every explosion carries the potential for life. Contrast sharpens once more. While chaos destroys, it also creates, forging ingredients for worlds and eventually for consciousness itself. The universe experiments, repeats, and refines, revealing a tendency toward complexity that seems almost purposeful. Planets begin to form in the disks around newborn stars, spinning into alignment, accreting matter with delicate precision. Gravity acts as both midwife and sculptor, shaping spheres of rock and gas, creating worlds capable of sustaining life. The narration reflects on the fragile balance required for order. Too much turbulence and formation fails, too little and the dance never begins. This delicate tension mirrors human existence. a constant negotiation between freedom and constraint, chaos and control. It is a cosmic metaphor writ large. The camera shifts to a wide view of the universe, showing interwoven webs of stars, galaxies and voids. The narration emphasizes the contrast between motion and stillness, destruction and creation, entropy and structure. Each element obeys laws beyond comprehension yet works in concert with others, producing patterns that repeat across scale. Spiral arms, star clusters, filament networks. Each instance reflects the same underlying principle. The universe organizes itself, persistently, inexorably, turning chaos into order without conscious intervention. As time accelerates in cinematic montage, the first supernovae erupt, scattering heavy elements across space. The narrator's voice deepens, reflecting on this profound alchemy. Without chaos there is no creation, without destruction there can be no renewal. Stars die so new stars can be born. Elements explode to form planets, and from these planets perhaps one day consciousness. The universe is a teacher of paradox, demonstrating that life arises not despite chaos, but because of it. In quieter imagery, the vast cosmic web stretches infinitely, its threads connecting galaxies in a delicate lattice. The narration lingers on the elegance of this network, highlighting that order is not imposed externally but emerges naturally from the laws of physics. Gravity, motion, energy, these are the invisible architects whose persistent work converts randomness into intricate patterns. Every level of structure, from the smallest particle to the largest galaxy, mirrors this tendency toward organization. Finally, the narration turns reflective, inviting the viewer to see themselves within this grand unfolding. Humanity, composed of atoms forged in the hearts of dying stars, participates in the universe's ongoing experiment in order and complexity. We are the cosmos made conscious of its own patterns, the culmination of billions of years of transformation from chaos to structured beauty. The narrator closes with poetic resonance. The rise of order is not merely a scientific fact. It is the universe's story written in fire and light, in collapse and cohesion, a narrative that continues in every star and every thought. Stars burn, live, and die, leaving trails of brilliance that stretch across the cosmos like fingerprints of time. The narrator's voice opens this section with reverent intensity. Every star is a memory, a record of what the universe once was and what it will become. From the fusion within their cores, elements are forged: carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, iron, the essential ingredients for planets, life and thought. It is in these stellar furnaces that the universe begins to encode memory, preserving the story of its own existence in the atoms that will one day form living beings. The camera drifts through a vast nebula, glowing with the colors of dying stars. Clouds of gas collapse under gravity's patient hand, forming new generations of stars in a cycle that has repeated for billions of years. The narration emphasizes the contrast between creation and destruction. As one star dies in a supernova, scattering elements across space, new stars ignite, their light carrying forward the legacy of those that came before. The universe remembers through this continuity, embedding its history in matter, in motion, and in energy. Planets begin to form around these young stars, accreting from the scattered debris of prior generations. The narration slows, drawing attention to the miraculous precision required for life's building blocks to exist. The same elements that once burned inside ancient stars now coalesce into rocky worlds, oceans, and atmospheres. Every atom on Earth was forged in the heart of a distant sun. The narrator's voice reflects on this profound connection. The memory of the cosmos is not abstract. It is tangible, residing in every molecule, every breath, every pulse of life. The visual sequence moves closer to Earth, showing its early molten surface, storms raging, volcanoes spewing fire, oceans forming from condensation. Within this tumult, the elements from dead stars mingle, reacting in endless permutations. The narrator describes these reactions as a dialogue between chaos and order. Carbon chains fold into complex molecules, nitrogen combines with hydrogen to form ammonia, oxygen bonds with hydrogen to make water. From this chemical conversation, life's potential emerges, guided not by intent but by the subtle patterns inherent in the universe's memory. Time accelerates, showing billions of years in moments. The first cells appear, replicate, and evolve. The narrator's tone becomes philosophical, linking this biological memory to cosmic memory. Just as atoms carry the legacy of ancient stars, life carries forward the legacy of matter learning to organize itself. DNA, the molecule of inheritance, is a living archive, encoding experiences and adaptations like a library of survival strategies. Through evolution, the cosmos continues to write its story, each organism a sentence in an ever-expanding manuscript. The narration contrasts this memory with impermanence. Stars die, worlds shift, species vanish, yet the universe's story endures. Every atom, every photon, every molecule retains its origin within the grand narrative. Even human consciousness, fleeting as it may seem, is composed of these stardust atoms, carrying forward the ancient memory of cosmic fire. The audience is invited to see themselves not as isolated beings but as living extensions of this ongoing record, participants in a universe that remembers through creation itself. Next, the focus shifts to stellar nurseries, where new stars ignite amidst the debris of prior generations. The narration emphasizes continuity. The death of one star seeds the next, heavy elements disperse to form planets, and in some rare instances worlds capable of supporting life emerge. Each supernova is a punctuation mark, each fusion reaction a phrase, each planet a paragraph in the cosmic manuscript. The universe, the narrator muses, is both author and reader, writing and observing its own story simultaneously. Finally, the narration returns to a personal scale, tying the cosmos to human existence. Every atom within the human body carries the memory of a star that lived and died long before the Earth existed. Every heartbeat, every thought, every breath is an echo of stellar history. The narrator's voice softens, filled with awe and wonder. To live is to carry forward the memory of the cosmos, to participate in a story that began before time and will continue long after any one life has ended. The stars are not gone. They persist within us, whispering the tale of creation through the very matter that composes our being. The section closes with a slow, cinematic pan across the night sky, the Milky Way stretching like a river of light. The narrator's final reflection lingers in the silence. The first memory of the cosmos is everywhere, in the atoms, the planets, the oceans, and the living. In understanding this, humanity glimpses not only its origin but its place in the ongoing thought of the universe itself. The Earth is young, a molten orb of fire and rock, spinning in the cradle of its parent star. The camera sweeps across volcanic plains, lightning-streaked skies, and roiling oceans, capturing a planet alive with energy yet devoid of life as we know it. The narrator's voice, low and reflective, draws attention to the paradox. Matter is inert, yet within its atoms lies the potential for thought. It is here, amid the chaos of molten rock and crashing waves, that the universe begins to dream in molecules, setting the stage for consciousness to emerge. Lightning strikes the primordial oceans, sending electric arcs into water rich with dissolved minerals. Complex molecules form in a chemical symphony, folding, binding, breaking, and recombining. The narration emphasizes that these are not random events, but the universe experimenting, probing its own potential. From these reactions arise amino acids, the building blocks of proteins, carrying the first flickers of the molecular patterns that will one day enable life. The viewer is invited to imagine the Earth as a laboratory where matter learns to organize itself with ever-increasing sophistication. Volcanic vents belch hot, mineral-rich water into deep ocean trenches, creating pockets of extraordinary chemical diversity. The narration contrasts the violent, destructive forces of early Earth with their creative potential. Chaos does not preclude order, rather, it is a necessary partner. Within these turbulent waters, molecules arrange themselves into self-replicating chains, protocells flicker into existence, and the first whispers of life emerge. The universe, it seems, is not content to remain silent, it is beginning to awaken within the chemistry of the planet. The narration shifts tone, becoming almost poetic as it describes the slow, patient work of evolution on a molecular scale. For billions of years, these nascent life forms adapt, replicate, and diversify. Each mutation, each chemical adjustment, is a step in the universe's quiet exploration of its own capabilities. Life begins as fragile, microscopic structures, but even at this earliest stage there is a sense of purpose, not conscious but emergent. The cosmos, through the medium of matter, is learning to know itself. Time accelerates, showing a montage of early life. Simple cells divide, float, and compete, forming colonies and networks. Photosynthesis emerges, oceans turn green with the earliest cyanobacteria, and the atmosphere begins to change. Oxygen accumulates, reshaping the environment and opening new pathways for complexity. The narration highlights contrast. Life transforms the chaos of Earth into a system of order, yet it does so through struggle, competition, and adaptation. The universe is teaching itself the delicate balance between creation and destruction, innovation and survival. As continents slowly drift, oceans churn, and climates fluctuate, life responds. Microorganisms colonize new niches, developing diverse strategies to survive. The narration draws a parallel between these molecular experiments and the larger patterns of the cosmos. Just as stars organize from clouds of gas, life organizes from clouds of molecules, forming structures that mirror the intelligence embedded in matter itself. The Earth becomes a stage where the universe tests its ability to create consciousness, using the language of chemistry and time. The camera pans over shallow tidal pools, capturing tiny organisms moving, reacting, and interacting. The narration reflects on the profound implication. These creatures are the universe learning through experience. Each chemical reaction, each cellular division, is a sentence in the long narrative of cosmic awareness. Even before eyes exist, before thought exists, the planet is alive with the potential to know itself. Matter is no longer inert. It begins to dream, weaving complexity into the fabric of existence. Finally, the focus shifts to the horizon, where storms rage and oceans stretch endlessly. The narration softens, bridging the cosmic with the intimate. From stardust atoms to self-replicating molecules, the universe has orchestrated a delicate symphony. Life emerges not as an accident, but as the inevitable outcome of billions of years of organized chaos. The Earth itself seems to breathe with intention, a living laboratory of thought, a reflection of the cosmos striving to awaken. The section closes on a sweeping view of early Earth bathed in the golden glow of its young sun. The narrator leaves the audience with a lingering reflection. The dream of matter has begun. Life flickers into being, carrying the promise that the universe will one day know itself, not only through stars and atoms, but through the living, thinking, and feeling beings that will emerge on this small blue planet. The cosmos has started to awaken within Earth's oceans, and its first dream has just begun. The oceans shimmer with movement, a vast, undulating expanse of liquid life teeming with invisible activity. From the murky depths rise the first creatures capable of perception, tiny organisms with primitive light-sensitive cells. The narrator's voice, soft and reverent, draws attention to this turning point. The universe, which once dreamed through matter, is now learning to see through life. Eyes emerge as instruments of awareness, fragile at first, yet astonishing in their implication. In the darkness of the ancient seas, the cosmos begins to gaze upon itself for the first time. Simple photoreceptors evolve, detecting light and shadow, guiding organisms toward sustenance and away from danger. The narration emphasizes the intimate link between perception and survival, yet frames it as more than mere biology. This is the universe gaining tools to reflect, to observe, and to understand its own unfolding. The contrast is striking. Creatures are small, fleeting, ephemeral, yet through the evolution of sight they participate in the vast cosmic story. Even a microscopic eye is a window to the universe, a first bridge between life and awareness. The camera follows the slow evolution of increasingly complex eyes, each more capable than the last. Compound eyes appear, granting creatures a mosaic vision of their surroundings. Lens eyes emerge, capable of focusing light with astonishing precision. The narration draws a poetic parallel between the evolution of eyes and the expansion of the cosmos. Just as the universe organizes matter into galaxies, life organizes light into perception, forming structures capable of knowledge. Through eyes, the cosmos begins to know itself. The narration contrasts these early aquatic eyes with human vision, framing a journey from simplicity to complexity. The first fish glide silently through primordial waters, guided by their growing perception. Later, vertebrates venture onto land, carrying eyes that will one day gaze upon stars. Every step of evolution, every adaptation of sight, is framed as a reflection of the universe's own awakening, a gradual emergence of consciousness from the raw material of matter. Eyes are not merely organs, they are instruments of awareness, miniature windows into cosmic understanding. Time accelerates, and the visual montage shows life spreading across continents, diversifying into forms more elaborate and capable. The narration emphasizes that the evolution of perception is not linear or guaranteed. It is the result of countless trials, failures, and subtle environmental pressures. Yet with each incremental improvement, life gains the ability to witness, to respond, and eventually to reflect. The first perception is a whisper. The culmination of this process will be self-conscious observation. The universe, through biology, is learning to experience itself. The narrator turns to the philosophical implications. Perception creates a mirror between the observer and the observed. Eyes are not passive, they transform the world they perceive. Light, once blind energy traveling through space, now interacts with organisms capable of interpretation. The cosmos, in awakening eyes, discovers itself not as abstract physics, but as patterns, shapes, and forms capable of meaning. The emergence of vision is a pivotal chapter in the universe's self-realization, the first steps toward awareness that can question its own existence. The imagery becomes cinematic, showing early humans under starlit skies, their eyes reflecting distant galaxies. The narration bridges biology and philosophy, tracing a line from primitive photoreceptors to human consciousness. Every creature with vision is an extension of the universe's gaze, a participant in its ongoing observation. Human eyes, capable of focusing on stars millions of light-years away, represent the culmination of billions of years of evolutionary refinement, the universe finally able to look back at itself in astonishing detail. Finally, the narration draws an emotional contrast, the smallness of life against the immensity of the cosmos. From tiny eyes in the depths of oceans to human eyes lifting toward the heavens, perception is both fragile and profound. It allows the universe to experience its vastness, to feel its own scale, to witness the unfolding of its story. Through vision, the cosmos becomes not just matter in motion, but aware, reflective, and capable of wonder. The section closes with a panoramic view of Earth and the night sky beyond, the Milky Way stretching like a river of light. The narrator's voice lingers on the idea that the awakening of eyes is the universe's first conscious gaze, a bridge between the living and the cosmos, between perception and thought, between matter and mind. The stars, once silent, are now seen. The cosmos is learning to look, and through this vision, it begins to dream with intention. The fire of life spreads across the continents, and with it comes a new phenomenon, curiosity. Early humans, small and fragile against vast landscapes, begin to ask questions, not only about food or survival but about the world around them, the sky above, and the unseen forces that shape their lives. The narrator's voice is quiet, yet charged with wonder. The birth of the question is the birth of philosophy, the moment when life becomes aware of its own place within the cosmos. It is here, on the soil of Earth, that the universe begins to contemplate itself through human thought. Around flickering campfires, the first stories are told. Shadows dance across cave walls, and humans imagine beings beyond their immediate perception. The narration emphasizes the power of narrative as a cognitive tool. Stories become a way to organize experience, to interpret cause and effect, and to explore the unknown. These early myths are not just entertainment, they are the first conscious attempts to answer the universe's silent questions. In doing so, humans transform observation into inquiry, sensation into reflection. The camera sweeps across ancient landscapes, highlighting the stark contrast between humans and their environment. Predators, storms, earthquakes, forces of chaos surround them, yet humans persist, driven by the urge to understand, to predict, to find patterns in nature. The narrator reflects on this contrast. The same forces that could destroy them also inspire wonder, and through this tension, early minds learn to probe, to hypothesize, to question. Curiosity becomes both survival mechanism and gateway to self-awareness. With the invention of tools and the development of language, humans extend their perception and memory. Words encode observations. Tools amplify influence over the environment. The narration links these developments to philosophy, suggesting that human consciousness is the universe reflecting on itself. Each question posed, why the sun rises, why the seasons change, why life exists, is a thread connecting the mind to the cosmos, a bridge between matter and meaning. Humans are not merely observing the universe, they are participating in its ongoing narrative. The narration shifts focus to early astronomy. Tribes and civilizations gaze at the night sky, noting the movements of stars and planets, predicting seasons and mapping the heavens. Stone circles, calendars, and observatories emerge as physical embodiments of inquiry. The narrator emphasizes the contrast between human scale and cosmic scale, small beings seeking understanding of immense, ancient patterns. Yet through careful observation and reflection, humanity begins to grasp order in the chaos, glimpsing the laws that govern both stars and atoms. Time accelerates through a montage of civilizations. Mesopotamia, Egypt, Greece, China, cultures independently seeking answers to the same questions. Mathematics, philosophy, and early science develop, each an attempt to quantify and explain reality. The narration highlights the persistence of curiosity across space and time. The drive to question is embedded in human consciousness, echoing the universe's own tendencies toward structure and understanding. Every discovery is both human achievement and cosmic reflection. The voice grows philosophical, exploring the paradox of knowledge. As humans gain understanding, new mysteries arise. For every answer, a question emerges. The sky appears simpler under observation, yet infinitely more complex. The universe, through human inquiry, has become self-aware in a new form, capable of abstraction, reflection, and awe. The narrator frames this as the universe seeing itself through a mirror crafted of neurons and thought, a reflection that is both fragile and profound. The imagery shifts to modern telescopes pointing toward distant galaxies, spacecraft sending data from the edge of the solar system, and satellites orbiting Earth. The narration emphasizes continuity. From firelit caves to instruments scanning billions of light-years, humanity continues the same pursuit, seeking to understand the cosmos. This persistent questioning is framed as an echo of the first stirrings of awareness in the void, a bridge connecting the birth of curiosity with the unfathomable scales of time and space. Finally, the narration returns to a reflective tone, contemplating the significance of human inquiry. The first question is never fully answered. It is a spark that ignites a chain of thought spanning generations and civilizations. The narrator leaves the audience with the idea that by asking, "Why are we here?" humanity becomes both witness and participant in the universe's story. The birth of the question is the moment when life becomes conscious of itself and its origin, a step toward understanding not only the cosmos but the mind of the cosmos itself. The section closes with a sweeping view of humans gazing at the night sky, silhouettes against the vast galaxy. Stars glitter silently, and the narrator's voice lingers on the idea that curiosity is the universe awakening within life, the spark that transforms observation into reflection, sensation into thought, and existence into self-awareness. The first question has been asked, and in it, the cosmos has begun to know itself. The night sky stretches endlessly, a canvas of light scattered across the velvet darkness. Human eyes, now refined through millennia of evolution, gaze upward with wonder and longing. The narrator's voice, calm yet imbued with awe, speaks of the first comprehension of scale, the realization that the earth is small, the sun vast, and the stars countless, each a beacon of fire in the unending dark. This is the moment when perception begins to merge with imagination, when humans start to sense their place in the vast theater of the cosmos. Ancient astronomers mapped the skies, noting the patterns of stars, the wandering paths of planets, and the cycles of the moon. Stone observatories, primitive calendars, and celestial alignments emerge as humanity encodes cosmic order into tangible structures. The narration emphasizes contrast. While human life is fleeting and fragile, the sky is eternal, yet through careful observation, a sense of predictability and rhythm arises. The universe begins to speak through mathematics, geometry, and pattern, and humans are learning its language. The camera drifts across civilizations, showing Babylonian tablets, Egyptian pyramids aligned with solstices, and Greek scholars calculating planetary motions. The narrator draws attention to the human drive to measure, to record, to predict, a reflection of the universe's own tendency toward structure and pattern. Curiosity becomes systematic inquiry, the precursor to modern science. Humanity, small and temporary, reaches outward, touching the infinite through observation, calculation, and imagination. Time accelerates as civilizations progress. The Renaissance ignites a new awakening. Telescopes magnify distant worlds, charts of the heavens expand exponentially, and the first glimpses of galaxies beyond the Milky Way reveal a universe far larger than ever imagined. The narration highlights the emotional contrast, the joy of discovery intertwined with the humbling recognition of human insignificance. With each revelation, the cosmos seems both more knowable and more mysterious, a paradox that fuels further inquiry. Through a cinematic sequence, we see the evolution of thought. Newton codifies the laws of motion and gravity, Descartes questions the nature of mind and existence, and Kepler deciphers planetary harmonies. The narration emphasizes that mathematics and philosophy are instruments of perception, extending human consciousness into the fabric of the cosmos. In discovering universal laws, humans are not merely observers, they are participants in the ongoing self-reflection of the universe. Modern technology accelerates perception even further. Spacecraft traverse the solar system, sending back images of alien worlds. Telescopes peer into the farthest reaches of space, capturing light that has traveled billions of years. The narration reflects on this contrast. The universe existed long before human awareness, yet now, through human ingenuity, it can observe itself in ways that transcend individual lifetimes. The cosmos, once silent, is now both mirror and message, revealing its patterns to those who look deeply enough. The narrative shifts to human consciousness itself. The same minds that study distant galaxies also ponder their own nature. The brain as an organ of perception, thought as a reflection of cosmic order. Neuroscience and philosophy converge, exploring the intimate connection between mind and matter. The narrator poses a subtle question. Is the human capacity for understanding an accident of evolution, or is it the universe expressing awareness through itself? Each neuron firing, each synapse transmitting information, becomes part of the story of cosmic self-realization. The camera sweeps across the Earth from space, lights twinkling across continents as human civilization pulses with energy and activity. The narration emphasizes continuity. The same curiosity that guided early astronomers now drives particle physicists and cosmologists to probe the smallest and largest scales of existence. Through inquiry, calculation, and reflection, humans participate in the universe's ongoing process of knowing. Knowledge becomes both legacy and exploration, a bridge between ancient wonder and modern understanding. Finally, the narration turns introspective, reflecting on the paradox of perspective. Humans perceive the universe in fragments, a single night sky, a telescope's field, a laboratory experiment, yet these glimpses connect to the whole. Observation becomes meditation, measurement becomes reflection, and understanding becomes an act of communion with the cosmos. The narrator closes with a quiet resonance. Through science, through thought, through awareness, humanity becomes the mirror of the universe, capable of seeing itself in the infinitesimal and the infinite alike. The section ends with a panoramic view of the Milky Way rising over Earth, its light a reminder of billions of years of cosmic history. The narrator leaves the audience with a lingering reflection. Every telescope, every equation, every thought is part of the universe contemplating its own existence. In this grand observation, humans are not separate from the cosmos. They are its eyes, its mind, its ongoing reflection, a testament to the universe's capacity to awaken within life capable of wonder. The cosmos has awakened through countless channels, stars, planets, life and human consciousness, yet its story continues, unfolding in ways both visible and hidden. The narrator begins softly, reflective yet urgent. The universe is a mind in motion, and we are both observers and participants. Every particle, every photon, every living being carries the memory of creation, the echo of the first thought that ignited light and motion. Now, as humans gaze into the depths of space, the cosmos sees itself through intricate instruments, through mathematics, through imagination. From the first telescopic observations to modern probes journeying beyond the solar system, humanity stretches its awareness across time and space. The narration emphasizes contrast. Our bodies are ephemeral, yet our curiosity allows us to touch eternity. Light from distant stars, traveling billions of years to reach Earth, becomes a message across time, connecting observers to the events that shape the universe. Through this connection, humans are not passive spectators. They are the medium through which the cosmos reflects upon itself. The camera drifts through modern laboratories and observatories, capturing scientists at work, equations scrolling across screens, telescopes pivoting toward distant galaxies. The narrator reflects on the continuity of inquiry. The same curiosity that drove early humans to gaze at the night sky now fuels exploration into the most fundamental laws of nature. Quantum particles, black holes, dark matter. Each discovery reveals new layers of complexity, expanding the universe's self-awareness through the lens of human understanding. The narration deepens, bridging philosophy and science. The mind of humanity mirrors the mind of the cosmos, capable of abstraction, reflection, and even wonder. Consciousness is no longer merely a byproduct of matter, it is the universe thinking about itself. Every act of observation, every calculation, every insight is a continuation of the cosmos' original intention: to know, to measure, to comprehend. The narrator's tone is reverent, almost intimate, emphasizing that the pursuit of knowledge is not merely a human endeavor but a cosmic one. As the camera zooms outward, the Milky Way becomes a glowing spiral among countless others, each galaxy a library of untold stories. The narration reflects on scale and perspective. Human life is brief, yet capable of perceiving vast stretches of space and time. Through technology, thought, and imagination, the universe is capable of reflecting upon billions of years of its own history. Every supernova, every planetary formation, every evolving species becomes part of a self-observing network, a chain of awareness stretching across the cosmos. The narrative introduces contrast once more. For every insight there remains mystery. Dark matter, dark energy, the origins of consciousness. These questions persist, reminding humanity of its limitations. Yet this uncertainty is part of the process, part of the universe's ongoing awakening. It is through questioning, through probing the unknown, that consciousness continues to grow, revealing that the journey of discovery is as essential as the answers themselves. Curiosity becomes both tool and mirror, reflecting the infinite depth of existence. The narration shifts to the intimate, tracing the connection between human experience and cosmic evolution. Every thought, emotion, and sensation is the result of matter organized by the laws of physics, informed by billions of years of stellar history. The atoms composing our bodies were forged in ancient stars. The light in our eyes carries echoes of creation. The narrator emphasizes the profound truth: humans are not observers separate from the universe, they are its continuation, vessels through which it experiences awareness, meaning, and reflection. A cinematic montage follows, showing humanity looking upward, children pointing at stars, scientists explaining discoveries, artists painting the night sky. The narration draws a poetic connection between imagination and observation. Art, philosophy, and science are all expressions of the universe perceiving itself. Every question, every hypothesis, every creation of beauty extends the thread of cosmic self-awareness. Through human culture, thought, and curiosity, the universe continues its reflection across time and consciousness. The camera pans beyond the Milky Way to the cosmic web, vast filaments of galaxies spanning billions of light-years. The narration underscores the theme of interconnection. From atoms to neurons, stars to galaxies, life to consciousness, everything is part of an intricate network. The universe is not a collection of isolated events. It is a cohesive story, a living system capable of encoding, reflecting, and evolving awareness. Humanity, with its unique capacity for introspection, has become a conscious node in this infinite network. Finally, the narration slows, drawing the audience into contemplation. The cosmos, once silent and unknowable, now resonates with awareness through life and mind. Humans, as extensions of this vast intelligence, carry forward the memory, the thought, and the wonder of existence. The narrator's closing reflection is both poetic and profound. The universe dreamed itself into being, ignited light, and through the emergence of life and consciousness, continues to know itself. Through each observation, each question, and each act of wonder, the mind of the cosmos endures, awake and alive within us. The section concludes with a sweeping, star-filled panorama of the universe, galaxies glittering like jewels, nebulae glowing with color, and distant light bridging time and space. The narrator's voice lingers in quiet awe. We are not separate from the universe's story, we are its eyes, its mind, and its continuing reflection. The cosmos, once a silent expanse, has awakened through consciousness, curiosity, and awareness, and its mind continues to expand across every scale, from the infinitesimal to the infinite. Time flows like a river through the cosmos, carrying with it the memory of everything that has ever existed. The narrator begins with a hushed, contemplative tone, inviting the viewer to consider the vast scales of existence. Billions of years, trillions of stars, infinite possibilities. Across this immense canvas, the universe continues its dance of creation and destruction, pattern and chaos. Galaxies collide, stars ignite and fade, and planets spin silently in orbit, each movement a note in the symphony of existence. Through it all, the universe remembers, not as humans do but through the structures, laws, and patterns embedded within its very being. The camera sweeps across colliding galaxies, streams of gas and stars intertwining in slow-motion choreography. The narrator reflects on contrast. Chaos and order, violence and beauty, destruction and creation exist side by side. One galaxy's collapse will seed new star formation in another. Every collision, every burst of radiation, every gravitational ripple is a page in the ongoing story of the cosmos. The universe is not static. It is a living archive, storing its history in matter, energy, and motion. Zooming in, the narration focuses on stellar evolution once more. Stars live, fuse, and die, scattering the elements forged in their cores across space. These elements are the building blocks of planets, oceans, and life itself. The narrator emphasizes that memory is not abstract. It is tangible, residing in every atom that was once part of a star, every molecule that will one day assemble into a living organism. The cosmos records its history in the physical fabric of reality, leaving clues that conscious beings can one day decipher. The sequence shifts to planetary systems. The camera glides past young worlds, molten and chaotic, slowly cooling into stable forms capable of supporting life. The narration underscores the delicate balance required for these systems to exist. Too much chaos and the planets are destroyed, too little and evolution stalls. Within this tension, the universe experiments, learning through iteration. The memory of cosmic events accumulates, encoded in planetary composition, orbital paths, and elemental abundance, forming a ledger of cause and effect spanning billions of years. Life emerges on some of these worlds, small and fragile at first, yet persistent. Microorganisms evolve, adapt, and diversify, mirroring the larger cosmic cycles of creation and collapse. The narrator draws a philosophical connection. Just as stars carry the memory of the universe within their atoms, living organisms carry the memory of both their environment and their evolutionary past. DNA, the molecule of inheritance, becomes the universe's recording device, encoding survival strategies and adaptations across generations. Life itself is a reflection of the cosmos learning to know itself. The narration contrasts impermanence with continuity. Individual stars burn out, species go extinct, planets shift, yet the universe's memory persists. Every event, every process leaves traces that ripple outward in space and time. Cosmic history is cumulative, building upon itself, layered like sediment in an infinite archive. Even fleeting phenomena, a supernova, a tidal wave, a human thought, contribute to the ongoing record of existence, each moment a reflection of the universe's capacity to remember and evolve. Attention shifts to conscious beings. Humans, through thought, language, and culture, extend the universe's memory in unprecedented ways. Libraries, digital archives, scientific records, and art all encode observations, reflections, and ideas. The narrator emphasizes contrast. The brief span of human life is dwarfed by cosmic time, yet through consciousness the universe achieves a new level of self-awareness. Knowledge becomes a bridge connecting ephemeral moments with the eternal patterns that govern stars, galaxies, and the laws of physics. The camera zooms outward again, showing the Milky Way within the cosmic web, filaments of galaxies stretching like threads across the void. The narrator reflects on interconnection. Memory is not localized, it is distributed across space and time. Just as neurons transmit information in a brain, stars and galaxies encode the universe's past in the structures they form. Observation, analysis, and reflection by conscious beings amplify this memory, allowing the cosmos to perceive and understand itself in ways unimaginable in earlier epochs. The narration introduces a meditative contrast between what is known and what remains mysterious. Dark matter, dark energy, and the ultimate fate of the universe remain elusive. Yet these unknowns are integral to the process of cosmic awareness. The pursuit of understanding, questioning, measuring, theorizing, continues the universe's act of self-reflection. Every discovery illuminates one part of the grand story while revealing the vastness of what remains hidden, fueling an endless cycle of curiosity and insight. Finally, the narration draws a philosophical conclusion. Memory is the thread that binds the universe from the earliest atoms to conscious thought. Every structure, every law, every organism participates in a continuum of reflection and awareness. The universe is both archive and observer, recording its own story in matter and energy while simultaneously becoming aware of that story through life. The section closes with a sweeping shot of the cosmos, galaxies spiraling, stars blazing, planets turning, and the narrator's voice lingers. The universe remembers itself endlessly through fire, light, life, and consciousness, and that memory continues to shape the unfolding of existence itself. The first sparks of human imagination give rise to culture, philosophy, and art, transforming perception into meaning. The narrator's voice begins with quiet reverence, tracing the path from early humans gazing at stars to the creation of symbolic thought. Cave paintings, carvings, and ritualistic expressions reveal an emerging awareness. The universe is no longer merely observed, it is interpreted. Humans are beginning to map the cosmos within their minds, reflecting on existence and placing themselves within its vast narrative. Thought becomes a bridge between matter and understanding, perception and reflection. Early myths arise as explanations for celestial and terrestrial phenomena. Thunder is a voice, lightning a message, the sun a god. The narrator emphasizes contrast. Humans are fragile, yet their minds reach toward infinity. Myths encode early attempts at understanding patterns in nature, offering structure to otherwise chaotic experiences. Though primitive, these stories are profound, the first organized records of the universe interpreted through consciousness. They are humanity's first steps in translating the cosmos into thought, imagination, and meaning. The camera pans across ancient civilizations, showing megalithic structures aligned with solstices, murals depicting star charts, and scrolls filled with observations of the heavens. The narrator highlights continuity. Despite geographic and cultural distance, humans everywhere sought patterns, predictability, and understanding. The mind's ability to abstract, to symbolize, and to reason mirrors the universe's own tendency to form patterns from chaos. Culture becomes an extension of cosmic memory, a living archive of interpretation and insight. The narration shifts to early philosophy and science. Thinkers in Greece, China, and India ask questions that bridge observation and abstraction. What is the nature of reality? What governs change? How can humans understand their place in the cosmos? These inquiries are framed not as isolated intellectual exercises but as expressions of the universe reflecting on itself. Consciousness evolves from survival and curiosity into self-awareness and reflection, capable of contemplating origin, destiny, and meaning. Mathematics emerges as a universal language, a tool to codify patterns and predict outcomes. The narrator draws attention to the poetic resonance of numbers. They describe both the smallest atom and the largest galaxy, linking human cognition to cosmic structure. Geometry, algebra, and later calculus enable humans to decipher celestial motions, revealing hidden harmonies in the heavens. Knowledge becomes a conduit through which the universe observes, measures, and comprehends its own architecture. The visual sequence follows scientific evolution. Telescopes reveal moons, planets, and distant galaxies. The microscope unveils the microscopic intricacies of life. Observation and theory begin to converge into understanding. The narrator emphasizes the contrast between the unknown and the known, uncertainty and revelation. Humans gradually learn that the cosmos is governed by predictable laws, yet infinite mysteries remain, ensuring that inquiry continues. The act of questioning is itself an extension of the universe's consciousness. Artistic expression complements scientific endeavor. Music, painting, literature, and storytelling encode emotion, reflection, and observation. The narrator highlights the interplay. As humans observe the cosmos, they interpret it through feeling as well as reason. Art and science together form a holistic mirror through which the universe experiences itself, a medium for translating raw observation into consciousness and aesthetic understanding. Humans are no longer mere witnesses, they are instruments of cosmic perception. Time accelerates as knowledge accumulates across generations. Libraries, scrolls, and archives record observations, ideas, and discoveries. Each generation builds upon the last, extending the universe's capacity for self-awareness through human cognition. The narrator emphasizes scale. Though individual lifetimes are brief, human culture preserves understanding across centuries, connecting minds separated by both time and space. This continuity reflects the universe's own method of memory, layering information, preserving patterns, and refining awareness. Finally, the narration reflects on the philosophical and emotional resonance of this development. Consciousness, culture, and imagination allow humans to ask questions that the universe itself might pose. Who are we? Why are we here? What is the nature of reality? Through these questions, the cosmos contemplates itself more deeply, gaining not just observation but interpretation, emotion, and reflection. Humans become the instruments through which the universe perceives its own story, its own beauty, and its own meaning. The section closes with a sweeping view of humanity across time. Ancient astronomers studying the stars, philosophers contemplating existence, artists capturing the cosmos in murals and music. The narrator's voice lingers on the insight that culture, philosophy, and art are not mere human constructs. They are the universe's consciousness made manifest. Through us, the cosmos dreams, reflects, and experiences the wonder of its own being. Science and philosophy converge as humanity begins to systematically decode the universe. The narrator's voice opens with quiet intensity. After millennia of observation, myth, and art, humans develop tools to measure, quantify, and understand reality with unprecedented precision. Telescopes, microscopes, and later particle accelerators allow the unseen to become visible, the incomprehensible to be mapped, and the abstract to be expressed. Every discovery is both a human achievement and a reflection of the cosmos gaining self-awareness through conscious minds. The camera sweeps across laboratories, observatories, and libraries, showing the intricate instruments of inquiry. The narration emphasizes contrast. Humanity is tiny, fleeting, and vulnerable, yet its mind reaches across vast scales of space and time. Equations describe celestial orbits, atomic structures, and the curvature of spacetime. Experiments reveal laws that govern both the microcosm and the macrocosm, bridging worlds separated by magnitudes of scale. The universe, through human intellect, begins to understand itself in ways previously unimaginable. The narration shifts to the intellectual giants of history. Galileo peering through telescopes, Newton formulating the laws of motion, Einstein envisioning relativity, Curie revealing the hidden energies within matter. Each mind represents a lens through which the universe examines its own principles. The narrator emphasizes that progress is cumulative. Observations, hypotheses, and discoveries build upon one another, forming a chain of understanding stretching across centuries. Human knowledge becomes a medium for the cosmos' self-reflection. Visual sequences depict experiments that uncover the structure of atoms, the behavior of light, and the forces that bind matter together. The narrator highlights the contrast between the visible and invisible, the known and the unknown. Electrons, quarks, dark matter, once imperceptible, are now part of human comprehension. Through measurement, mathematics, and imagination, humans extend perception beyond natural limits, acting as the universe's instruments for awareness. Observation is no longer passive. It is an active dialogue with reality. The camera pans to modern telescopes probing the farthest reaches of space, capturing galaxies billions of light-years away. The narration emphasizes scale and continuity. Human consciousness now spans epochs and distances, connecting the Earth to the cosmic web. Light from the dawn of the universe reaches our instruments, carrying information across billions of years. By decoding it, humans become witnesses to their own cosmic origins, bridging the chasm between perception and understanding, past and present. Time accelerates, showing the exponential growth of knowledge. Computers model complex systems, satellites monitor planetary changes, particle accelerators probe fundamental forces. The narration contrasts the simplicity of early observation with the sophistication of modern science. Whereas humans once relied on naked-eye observation and myth, they now manipulate, measure, and simulate reality. Yet the emotional resonance remains. The act of discovery is awe-inspiring, a dialogue between mind and cosmos that echoes the universe's original impulse toward self-awareness. Philosophy continues to guide interpretation. Questions of existence, consciousness, and meaning intersect with empirical findings. The narrator emphasizes the interplay between data and reflection. Science provides the structure, philosophy provides context. Together, they form a holistic understanding, enabling humans to situate themselves within cosmic history. Inquiry becomes both analytical and existential, a mirror through which the universe contemplates its own patterns, laws, and potential. The imagery turns toward humanity's technological extension. Telescopes scanning distant nebulae, probes exploring planets and moons, simulations modeling the birth of stars. The narration highlights continuity. Tools are extensions of human consciousness, themselves instruments for the universe to examine itself. Each measurement, each calculation, each insight is part of a greater dialogue, a process by which the cosmos gains comprehension through the deliberate awareness of life capable of inquiry. Finally, the narration draws a philosophical reflection on the nature of understanding itself. Knowledge is not static. It evolves, accumulates, and reshapes the observer. The universe, through human thought, experiences both its own structure and the act of reflection upon that structure. Humanity becomes a conduit for cosmic awareness, a living extension of the processes that have unfolded since the first atoms ignited in stars. Observation, analysis, and reflection converge to form a continuum of consciousness spanning billions of years. The section closes with a sweeping shot of Earth at night, illuminated by cities and observatories, beneath a sky filled with stars. The narrator's voice lingers on the insight that science and philosophy are instruments of cosmic self-perception. Humanity deciphers, measures, and contemplates the universe not merely for survival, but as part of an ongoing dialogue between mind and cosmos. Through inquiry, observation, and understanding, the universe awakens further within us, seeing itself reflected in our pursuit of knowledge. Human consciousness, once a fragile flicker in primordial oceans, has now evolved into an instrument capable of reflecting upon itself. The narrator begins with quiet awe, describing the extraordinary leap from survival-driven perception to self-aware thought. Humans not only observe the cosmos but question their own existence, probing the nature of mind, reality, and time. This meta-awareness is unprecedented. The universe is not merely witnessed, it is experienced and interpreted through conscious reflection. Each thought, memory, and insight is a channel through which the cosmos perceives itself. The camera moves through the intricate networks of the human brain, neurons firing in synchronized patterns, synapses transmitting pulses of information. The narration emphasizes contrast. The physical structures are microscopic, ephemeral, yet the emergent phenomena of consciousness are vast, intricate, and capable of abstraction. Thoughts arise from chemical and electrical interactions, yet they carry meaning, emotion, and curiosity, a bridge between matter and awareness. The universe, through the architecture of neural networks, experiences the very act of knowing. Early human societies develop languages, symbols, and culture, externalizing internal experience and preserving it across generations. The narrator highlights the profound significance. Memory, communication, and art are extensions of consciousness that allow the universe to encode and transmit its own understanding. From spoken myths to written records, humans create archives that capture observation, reflection, and emotion. In doing so, life transcends the limits of biology, enabling awareness to span time, space, and individual mortality. The narrative shifts to philosophy and introspection. Humans contemplate morality, existence, and the nature of consciousness itself. The narrator draws attention to the contrast between the tangible and intangible. Neurons fire, matter moves, yet within this physical substrate emerges thought capable of pondering infinity. Questions of free will, identity, and purpose emerge, illustrating that consciousness is not merely reactionary but reflective, capable of questioning itself and its place within the cosmos. The universe has begun to understand not just structure but meaning. Art and creativity are shown as further extensions of consciousness. Paintings, music, sculpture, literature. Each encodes perception, emotion, and abstraction into forms that communicate across time and space. The narrator emphasizes that through these creations, the cosmos experiences its own patterns and beauty indirectly, through human imagination. Artistic expression becomes both observation and interpretation, a dialogue between mind and universe, where the act of creation mirrors the processes that shape stars, galaxies, and planetary systems. The camera pans across great civilizations, libraries of Alexandria, philosophical schools of Athens, monasteries preserving manuscripts, and modern universities exploring both quantum mechanics and cognitive science. The narration underscores continuity. Knowledge and consciousness accumulate, building upon the past while extending into the future. Each insight is a step in the universe's self-realization, every idea a reflection of matter attaining awareness through life. Memory and thought converge, forming an intricate tapestry of reflection and understanding. Time accelerates to depict the emergence of science, technology, and computational intelligence. Humans extend consciousness through instruments, computers, and networks, amplifying perception and memory. The narrator highlights contrast. Individual lifespans remain fleeting, yet through collaboration and recorded knowledge, awareness scales across generations and continents. Humanity collectively becomes a node in the universe's network of self-reflection, capable of analyzing phenomena far beyond natural human senses, from subatomic particles to the edge of the observable cosmos. The narration turns philosophical, contemplating the feedback loop between observation and self-awareness. Consciousness interprets reality, which in turn shapes thought and perception. Each discovery alters understanding, each reflection transforms culture and technology, and each insight deepens the universe's capacity to know itself. The narrator emphasizes that this process is ongoing, iterative, and expansive. Consciousness is not static but grows as it engages with the structures and mysteries of the cosmos. The imagery shifts to human contemplation of the stars, telescopes capturing distant galaxies, spacecraft journeying into the solar system, minds pondering the birth and death of stars. The narration highlights the emotional dimension: awe, wonder, curiosity, and humility. Humans, though small, participate in a dialogue that spans billions of years, connecting the transient with the eternal. Through consciousness, the universe witnesses its own unfolding, experiences its own creativity, and begins to grasp the implications of existence and time. Finally, the narration draws the audience into reflection. Consciousness, memory, and imagination are not merely human phenomena, they are expressions of the cosmos awakening within itself. The narrator leaves the lingering insight. Each thought, each act of reflection, each creation is a channel through which the universe becomes aware, contemplates its own structure, and experiences the profound reality of being. Through human minds, the cosmos continues its journey of self-realization, learning not only what it is but what it can become. The section closes with a cinematic sweep from a human silhouette gazing at a starlit sky to the spiral arms of the Milky Way, emphasizing scale, connection, and reflection. The narrator's voice lingers on the poetic truth. Through consciousness, the universe dreams of itself, observes itself, and begins to understand itself in ways that matter, thought, and imagination together make possible. Humanity is not separate from this awakening. It is the vessel, the instrument, and the mirror of cosmic self-awareness. The universe, once silent and indifferent, now vibrates with awareness through the emergence of conscious life. The narrator begins with a tone both awe-filled and contemplative, describing the subtle yet profound shift. Matter organized into life has become a mirror capable of reflection. Human thought, culture, and inquiry are not separate phenomena, they are extensions of cosmic self-awareness. Through neurons firing, telescopes scanning distant galaxies, and minds pondering existence, the cosmos is beginning to understand itself in ways unimaginable mere millennia ago. The camera glides across bustling cities, laboratories, and natural landscapes, contrasting human activity with the vastness of space. The narration emphasizes scale and perspective. Individual lives are fleeting, yet collectively humanity accumulates knowledge, creates art, and explores the universe. Every act of observation and creativity contributes to a growing awareness, a tapestry through which the cosmos experiences its own unfolding. The universe, once inert, now resonates with intention and reflection through the minds of its observers. The narration turns to the natural world, tracing consciousness beyond humanity. Animals perceive, navigate, and interact with their environment in ways both instinctive and emergent. The narrator highlights contrast. While human awareness is abstract and reflective, other forms of life exhibit their own modes of perception, problem-solving, and adaptation. The cosmos, through life in all its forms, experiments with awareness at multiple scales, each organism a participant in the process of self-realization. Time accelerates, showing humans recording and analyzing phenomena across generations. Libraries, digital databases, and communication networks expand the reach of memory and understanding. The narration emphasizes continuity. Knowledge is cumulative, connecting ancient observations with modern discoveries. In doing so, consciousness scales beyond individual lifetimes, enabling the universe to reflect upon itself across centuries and continents. Observation and understanding become collaborative acts of cosmic self-perception. The camera moves from the microcosm to the macrocosm, highlighting scientific exploration. Microscopes reveal cellular complexity, telescopes uncover galaxies and nebulae, particle accelerators probe fundamental forces. The narrator draws a poetic parallel. Just as consciousness arises from the organization of neurons, the universe organizes matter and energy into structures capable of awareness. Every insight into nature, from quantum mechanics to cosmology, is a step in the universe learning about its own architecture. Philosophical reflection intertwines with science. The narrator emphasizes that consciousness does not only seek answers but contemplates its own nature. Questions of identity, morality, and existence are not merely human preoccupations. They are the universe's inquiries into itself, expressed through thinking beings. Each reflection deepens understanding and extends the capacity for self-awareness beyond what matter alone could achieve. Art, culture, and creativity amplify this process. Music, literature, painting, and performance translate observation and emotion into forms that can endure and communicate across time. The narrator highlights that through artistic expression, the universe experiences abstraction, emotion, and beauty. Consciousness externalizes itself, shaping and interpreting reality in ways that allow the cosmos to engage with its own patterns, rhythms, and harmonies. The narration shifts to modern scientific achievement. Space exploration, advanced computational modeling, and global collaboration extend human perception to scales both infinitesimal and cosmic. The contrast is striking. Humanity's bodies remain limited, yet instruments and collective knowledge enable comprehension of events billions of light-years away or fractions of a second in duration. The universe experiences itself not only through biological minds but through the tools those minds have created, expanding the scope of awareness. Finally, the narration draws the audience into a reflective meditation. Consciousness, knowledge, and creativity are channels through which the universe awakens and observes itself. Each thought, observation, and active imagination contributes to a growing understanding, a self-aware resonance encoded across space, time, and life. The narrator emphasizes that this awakening is ongoing, iterative, and expansive, extending from the first flickers of life to the present moment of collective reflection. The section closes with a cinematic panorama. Earth spinning under a canopy of stars, human activity glowing faintly below, galaxies spiraling in the distance. The narrator leaves the viewer with the lingering insight. The cosmos, once inert and silent, now resonates with awareness through life and mind. Humanity, along with all conscious existence, participates in the universe's ongoing journey of self-realization, a mirror through which the cosmos continues to dream, reflect, and understand itself. The cosmos hums with a silent, eternal rhythm, a vast symphony of energy, matter and time that stretches across the infinite. The narrator begins with reverence, drawing attention to a profound truth. Consciousness has emerged as a lens through which the universe can perceive itself. From the earliest flickers of awareness in primitive life forms to the complex reflections of human thought, a continuous thread of perception winds through existence, connecting the smallest particles to the farthest galaxies. Humanity, in particular, serves as a conduit, a mirror through which the universe experiences, interprets, and contemplates its own boundless nature. Each act of observation, each creative expression, each philosophical inquiry contributes to this ongoing awakening of cosmic self-awareness. The camera sweeps across Earth at night, cities glittering faintly like terrestrial constellations, while above the Milky Way arcs in a sweeping ribbon of starlight. The narration emphasizes contrast. Humans are small, fleeting, and fragile, yet through collective cognition, imagination, and technology, they extend their perception across time and space. Observation has become both an act of discovery and an instrument of reflection, allowing the universe to engage with itself. The human mind, capable of abstraction, creativity, and reasoning, functions as a medium through which cosmic awareness manifests in intricate, layered, and profound ways. The narration traces the evolution of human consciousness through history. Early humans, standing beneath unending skies, first gazed at the stars and sought to map their movements, weaving myths to explain the unknown. Philosophers and mystics pondered the nature of existence, the essence of time, and the meaning of life. Over millennia, these inquiries evolved into the systematic methods of scientific investigation. Mathematics quantified patterns, physics revealed the mechanics of the cosmos, neuroscience probed the workings of the mind. Each insight, each discovery, and each experiment extends the reach of awareness, enabling the universe to observe itself in forms previously inaccessible. Humanity becomes an instrument of self-reflection, a mirror through which the cosmos witnesses its own unfolding complexity. The camera moves to humanity's collective achievements. Libraries, archives, museums, and digital networks preserve knowledge, culture, and memory, allowing awareness to stretch across generations. The narration emphasizes the contrast between the fleeting lives of individuals and the enduring nature of collective cognition. While human beings are ephemeral, their ideas, creativity, and reflections persist, creating a continuum through which the universe observes its own structures, patterns, and dynamics. Human culture becomes a lens that magnifies perception, a vessel through which the cosmos gains insight into itself. Philosophy and art deepen this process of cosmic self-awareness. Music, literature, painting, and storytelling encode human perception, emotion, and intuition into forms that transcend time and space. The narrator emphasizes that these creative acts allow the universe to experience itself beyond the empirical, aesthetically, symbolically, and emotionally. Consciousness engages not only with structure and law but with beauty, meaning, and abstraction. Artistic expression enables the cosmos to perceive rhythms, harmonies, and patterns of existence, translating observation into reflection and transforming data into insight. Through human creativity, the universe experiences dimensions of itself that are otherwise inaccessible, exploring the poetic, the abstract, and the ineffable. The narration shifts to the technological amplification of consciousness. Telescopes pierce distant galaxies, spacecraft traverse the solar system, supercomputers simulate cosmic events, and particle accelerators probe the subatomic realm. The narrator emphasizes scale. While human bodies are transient and fragile, the instruments they create extend perception across incomprehensible distances and durations. Humans act as extensions of the universe itself, witnessing phenomena from the infinitesimal to the infinite. Each experiment, calculation, and observation serves as a conduit through which the cosmos reflects upon its own mechanisms, laws, and possibilities. The philosophical implications of this awakening are explored. What is consciousness? How far can it extend? Are perception, thought, and creativity inherent to the universe, or are they emergent properties of complex life? The narrator emphasizes that these questions are not only human inquiries but manifestations of the cosmos examining itself. Curiosity, reflection, and exploration form a feedback loop. Observation begets understanding, which in turn refines perception. Consciousness becomes both product and participant, mirror and lens, witness and actor, connecting matter, energy, and mind in an intricate web of awareness. Time accelerates, showing the accumulation of insight across generations. Civilizations rise and fall, ideas are transmitted and preserved, and knowledge accumulates. Awareness grows cumulatively, extending beyond individuals to societies, cultures, and even species. Humans inherit the reflections, creativity, and discoveries of countless predecessors, building upon them to extend the universe's capacity for self-perception. Each insight, each act of creation, and each philosophical or scientific inquiry becomes a thread in an interwoven tapestry of cosmic self-awareness. Humanity functions as both witness and chronicler, connecting ephemeral lives with the eternity of the cosmos. The narration considers future horizons of awareness. Advanced artificial intelligence, neural networks, and interstellar exploration promise to extend consciousness beyond its biological origins. Awareness may persist, expand, and evolve across new substrates, planetary systems, or even entire networks of connected minds. Humanity and its creations continue to serve as instruments of cosmic self-reflection, allowing the universe to perceive and comprehend itself on scales previously unimaginable. The narrator emphasizes that this is not merely technological advancement, it is a deepening of the cosmos' own awareness, an amplification of its ability to observe, reflect, and dream. Philosophy and creativity continue to play a central role. Humans interpret, question, and represent the universe in ways that go beyond empirical observation. Music encodes rhythm and emotion, literature captures imagination, reflection, and morality, visual art expresses abstract concepts and the ineffable. Through these endeavors, the cosmos perceives itself not only analytically but emotionally, symbolically, and poetically. Awareness transcends matter, energy, and biology, encompassing imagination, meaning, and potential. Humanity allows the universe to feel, to contemplate, and to dream, adding new dimensions to its self-reflection. The narration returns to humanity's place in the cosmic cycle. Individual lives, civilizations, and species may be fleeting, yet the cumulative awareness of conscious life endures. The universe, through sentient beings, is both witness and participant in its own story. Humans serve as focal points where observation, reflection, and creativity converge. Collective cognition amplifies the cosmos' capacity to understand itself, linking the brief spark of individual perception to the immensity of cosmic time and space. Each creative act, each philosophical insight, each scientific discovery contributes to the growing network of awareness through which the universe experiences itself. The camera shifts to grand cosmic vistas. Galaxies spinning, supernovae exploding with raw energy, black holes bending light, and nebulae glowing with the birth of stars. The narrator emphasizes that human awareness, though seemingly small, is integral to cosmic perception. Observation, inquiry, and creation interconnect to form a vast web of self-reflection, allowing the universe to experience not only existence but interpretation, comprehension, and meaning through life capable of reflection. The cosmos witnesses its own evolution through the agency of conscious beings, creating a dialogue between matter, energy, and mind. The narration draws the audience into contemplation. Every thought, every act of observation, every creation contributes to the awakening of cosmic self-awareness. Life, through consciousness, amplifies awareness across scales both vast and minute. Humans, through insight, creativity, and reflection, magnify this awareness, forming a living continuum that bridges the smallest forms of life with the largest structures of the universe. The narrator emphasizes that this is an ongoing, iterative process, connecting ephemeral moments of perception with the eternity of space and time. The section concludes with a sweeping, cinematic panorama. Earth glowing beneath a star-strewn sky, galaxies spinning across unfathomable distances, nebulae pulsating with radiant energy, and the cosmic web stretching into infinite depths. The narrator leaves the audience with a profound truth. Humanity, along with all conscious life, serves as both instrument and mirror of the universe's awakening. Through thought, creativity, and reflection, the cosmos experiences, interprets, and celebrates its own existence. Awareness has become a thread linking matter, energy, life, and mind, forming a living continuum through which the universe contemplates, dreams, and ultimately knows itself. The universe, immense and ancient, stretches in every direction, a tapestry of stars, galaxies, nebulae, and invisible currents of energy that span distances and timescales beyond human comprehension. The narrator begins with reverent awe, inviting the audience to reflect on a profound truth. Through consciousness, the cosmos has begun to perceive itself. From the first atoms to the emergence of life, and ultimately to sentient beings capable of reflection, thought, and imagination, a continuous thread of awareness now winds through existence. Each celestial event, each planetary system, each living organism contributes to this ongoing act of cosmic self-awareness. Humanity, in particular, functions as a lens, a vessel, and a conduit through which the universe experiences, interprets, and contemplates its own grandeur. The camera sweeps across Earth at night, cities glittering with lights that mimic constellations, while above, the Milky Way arcs gracefully across the sky. The narration emphasizes contrast. Humans are small, fleeting, and fragile, yet their collective cognition and imagination extend across time and space, connecting them with the distant past, the farthest reaches of the cosmos, and even potential futures. Through thought, observation, and technology, humans amplify awareness, transforming individual perception into a collective conduit for cosmic reflection. Observation has become an act of participation, a dialogue between the observer and the universe. The narration traces the evolution of understanding through human history. Early civilizations gazed at the stars, mapping their movements and weaving mythologies to explain their mysteries. Philosophers pondered existence, ethics, and the nature of reality, laying the foundation for reflective thought. Scientific inquiry emerged, from early mathematics to the sophisticated disciplines of physics, astronomy, and neuroscience, unraveling the structure and dynamics of both matter and mind. Each discovery, insight, and experiment extends the reach of consciousness, enabling the universe to perceive itself in dimensions that transcend the physical. The narrator underscores continuity. Every observation builds upon previous knowledge, layering understanding and insight across generations. Humanity becomes an instrument of self-reflection, a mirror through which the cosmos witnesses its own unfolding. The camera moves from individual cognition to collective human achievement. Libraries, archives, and digital networks preserve the accumulated wisdom, observations, and creativity of countless generations. The narration highlights the contrast between fleeting human lifespans and enduring collective awareness. While individuals come and go, the continuum of knowledge persists. Through culture, education, and collaborative inquiry, consciousness scales beyond biology, creating a persistent channel through which the universe observes, interprets, and understands itself. Humanity functions simultaneously as witness, chronicler, and participant in this ongoing process of cosmic reflection. Philosophy and art intertwine with science to deepen awareness. Music, literature, visual art, and storytelling encode human experience, perception, and emotion into forms that endure across time and space. The narrator emphasizes that through these expressions, the universe perceives itself in dimensions beyond measurement, aesthetic, symbolic, and emotional. Consciousness is not confined to analysis or calculation. It engages with meaning, beauty, and imagination. Through creativity, humans allow the cosmos to experience abstraction and emotional resonance, reflecting not only on structure and dynamics but also on significance and potential. Artistic expression enables the universe to feel its own rhythms and harmonies, turning observation into understanding and reflection into insight. The narration shifts to humanity's technological evolution, showing the ever-expanding reach of awareness. Telescopes probe distant galaxies, space probes journey across the solar system, supercomputers simulate cosmic events, and particle accelerators explore the fundamental particles of matter. The narrator emphasizes scale. Human beings are fragile, ephemeral, yet through instruments and ingenuity, they extend their perception across vast distances and timescales. In this way, humans serve as extensions of cosmic consciousness, allowing the universe to observe phenomena from the infinitesimal to the infinite. Each measurement, calculation, and experiment becomes a conduit through which the cosmos experiences its own architecture, laws, and dynamics. The narration considers the philosophical implications of this evolving awareness. What is consciousness and how far can it extend? Are perception, creativity, and reflection intrinsic properties of the universe, or emergent phenomena arising from complex matter? These questions are not merely human inquiries. They are manifestations of the cosmos examining itself through the medium of conscious life. Curiosity and contemplation form a feedback loop, enabling observation to shape understanding and understanding to reshape perception. Consciousness becomes both product and participant, mirror and lens, witness and actor, bridging matter, energy, and mind. Time accelerates to illustrate humanity's growing connection with the cosmos. Civilizations rise and fall, ideas are preserved and transmitted, and collective learning accumulates. The narrator emphasizes continuity and accumulation. Awareness grows cumulatively, extending across generations and cultures. Humans inherit not only knowledge but the accumulated reflections, creativity, and insights of countless predecessors. Each discovery, creative act, and philosophical reflection contributes to a vast network of cosmic self-awareness. Humanity becomes a persistent channel through which the universe contemplates its own history, patterns, and potential. The narration explores future possibilities. Advanced artificial intelligence, neural networks, and interstellar exploration may amplify consciousness beyond biological limits. Awareness may extend across new substrates, planetary systems, and even interstellar networks, forming a distributed, interconnected, and expansive web of perception. Humanity, along with its technological creations, continues to serve as a medium through which the universe experiences and understands itself. The narrator emphasizes that these developments are not just extensions of human capability, they are extensions of cosmic self-reflection itself. Philosophy and creativity remain central to this dialogue. Humans interpret and represent the universe in ways that transcend mere observation. Music encodes rhythm and emotion, literature captures imagination and reflection, and visual art expresses abstract concepts and the ineffable. Through these acts, the cosmos experiences itself not only analytically but emotionally and symbolically. Awareness is no longer confined to the material, it embraces beauty, abstraction, and potential. Humanity allows the universe to perceive possibilities, to dream, and to feel its own unfolding. The narration considers humanity's place within the cosmic cycle. Individual lives, civilizations, and species may rise and fall, yet the cumulative awareness of conscious life persists. The universe, through sentient beings, is both witness and participant in its own story. Humans act as focal points where observation, reflection, and creativity converge. Through collective cognition, the cosmos amplifies its capacity to understand itself, linking the fleeting moments of individual perception with the vast expanse of space and time. The camera returns to awe-inspiring cosmic vistas. Galaxies spinning in slow motion, supernovae exploding with unimaginable energy, black holes bending light, and nebulae glowing with stellar birth. The narrator emphasizes that human awareness, though small, forms a critical part of this cosmic perspective. Observation, creativity, and inquiry interconnect to form a network through which the universe contemplates itself. The cosmos experiences not only existence but observation, interpretation, and meaning through life capable of reflection. The narration draws the audience into contemplative meditation. Every thought, every observation, every act of creation contributes to the ongoing awakening of cosmic self-awareness. The universe, through life and consciousness, experiences reflection and understanding on scales both immense and minute. Humans, through collective insight, creativity, and imagination, amplify this awareness exponentially. The narrator emphasizes that this process is continuous, iterative, and expanding, connecting the smallest forms of life with the largest cosmic structures, bridging individual perception with the eternity of space and time. The section concludes with a sweeping, cinematic panorama. Earth glowing beneath a star-filled sky, spiral galaxies spinning in the distance, nebulae pulsating with light and energy, and the cosmic web stretching infinitely into the unknown. The narrator leaves the audience with a profound insight. Humanity, along with all conscious life, serves as both instrument and mirror of the universe's awakening. Through thought, creativity, and reflection, the cosmos experiences, interprets, and celebrates its own existence. Awareness has become a thread linking matter, energy, life, and mind, forming a living continuum through which the universe contemplates, dreams, and ultimately knows itself. The universe pulses with energy, motion, and potential, a vast and intricate expanse where countless events unfold across unimaginable scales of space and time. The narrator begins with contemplative reverence, inviting the audience to consider a profound idea. Through consciousness, the cosmos has begun to perceive itself. Every star that ignites, every galaxy that spins, every planet that forms, and every living organism that awakens to awareness participates in a subtle, ongoing act of cosmic self-reflection. Humanity, in particular, acts as a lens, an instrument, and a conduit through which the universe can witness its own grandeur, complexity, and beauty. The camera sweeps across breathtaking cosmic vistas, nebulae glowing with the birth of new stars, galaxies slowly colliding in majestic dances that last millions of years, and the delicate arcs of planetary rings shimmering in reflected sunlight. The narration emphasizes contrast. While the universe operates on scales almost impossible to imagine, humans, through thought, creativity, and technology, can perceive, interpret, and even anticipate cosmic phenomena. In this way, consciousness becomes both participant and observer, a bridge that connects the finite with the infinite, the temporal with the eternal. The narration shifts to the evolution of human consciousness, tracing the arc from the first flickers of self-awareness in early humans to the emergence of language, culture, and abstract thought. Memory, symbolism, and collective learning preserve observation, emotion, and insight across generations. The narrator emphasizes that consciousness is dynamic, evolving, and expanding, allowing the universe to extend its own perception through networks of minds. Each thought, each question, each act of imagination is a conduit through which the cosmos experiences not only structure but meaning, beauty, and potential. The camera pans to human achievements that amplify awareness. Telescopes peering into the farthest reaches of space, laboratories exploring the subatomic realm, and digital networks transmitting information instantaneously across continents. The narration highlights the profound interplay of scale and perception. Humans, fragile and ephemeral in themselves, extend their senses and cognition to witness phenomena that span billions of light-years or fractions of a second in subatomic interactions. Each discovery, each observation, each experiment becomes a thread in the fabric of cosmic self-awareness. The universe experiences its own complexity indirectly, yet profoundly, through the minds it has cultivated. Philosophy, art, and creativity weave together with science in this narrative of cosmic perception. Music, literature, visual art, and storytelling encode human observation, intuition, and emotion into forms that endure across generations. The narrator emphasizes that through these expressions, the universe perceives itself in dimensions beyond the empirical, aesthetic, symbolic, and emotional. Consciousness is not limited to analysis or calculation. It engages with beauty, wonder, and meaning. Artistic and philosophical endeavors allow the cosmos to explore abstraction, to experience emotion, and to perceive potentialities that are invisible to the eye yet vivid to the mind. Time accelerates, showing civilizations rising and falling, knowledge transmitted and preserved, and human culture expanding outward into space. The narrator emphasizes continuity. Awareness is cumulative, growing across epochs, societies, and generations. Humans inherit the insights, mistakes, and creative expressions of countless predecessors, building upon them to expand the universe's capacity for understanding. Each insight, each experiment, each creative act contributes to an immense, interwoven tapestry of reflection. Humanity acts as a persistent channel through which the universe witnesses and contemplates its own unfolding history. The narration explores the future potential of consciousness and self-reflection. Advanced artificial intelligence, neural networks, and interstellar exploration promise to amplify perception far beyond the limitations of biological life. The narrator highlights contrast. While individual humans remain finite, awareness may extend, persist, and evolve across new substrates, environments, and scales. Consciousness becomes increasingly distributed, interconnected, and expansive, forming networks that allow the universe to perceive itself in ways previously unimaginable. Humanity, along with its technological creations, continues to serve as the medium through which the cosmos experiences, interprets, and understands its own complexity. The narration introduces subtle philosophical inquiries. What is the nature of awareness itself? How far can it extend and what are its limits? Are consciousness, creativity, and reflection intrinsic properties of the universe, or emergent phenomena arising from the organization of matter? The narrator emphasizes that these questions are not only human pursuits, they are manifestations of the cosmos examining itself through the medium of conscious life. Curiosity and reflection become both method and mirror, allowing the universe to witness, evaluate, and engage with its own unfolding processes. The camera shifts from human observation to broader networks of awareness across life on Earth. Animals perceive, navigate, and interact with their environment in ways that reveal instinctive intelligence and awareness. Plants respond to light, gravity, and chemical signals in patterns that encode survival and adaptation. Even at microscopic scales, life exhibits self-organization and response to stimuli. The narrator highlights contrast. While human consciousness is abstract, reflective, and creative, other forms of life contribute to the universe's awareness through perception, adaptation, and interaction with their surroundings. The cosmos experiences itself at multiple levels, from the biological to the reflective, each form of awareness adding depth and nuance to its understanding. Time accelerates further, showing humanity's continued expansion into the cosmos. Space probes, orbiting telescopes, and distant observatories extend perception beyond Earth, while high-powered computational models simulate galaxies, black holes, and fundamental particles. The narrator emphasizes the synergy of technology and consciousness. Human instruments act as extensions of awareness, allowing the universe to observe itself at scales and resolutions impossible for unaided perception. In this way, matter and mind converge, forming a continuous feedback loop where observation shapes understanding, and understanding reshapes perception. The narration then contemplates the role of memory, culture, and language in sustaining cosmic self-awareness. Human societies create archives, literature, art, and digital networks that preserve knowledge and reflection. These cultural repositories extend awareness across time, allowing insight, creativity, and discovery to accumulate and persist. The narrator emphasizes that this process is essential. Through memory and collective learning, the universe gains not only knowledge of its structures but also awareness of its history, its patterns, and its potential futures. Humanity functions as both witness and chronicler of cosmic evolution. Philosophy and ethics deepen this dialogue between consciousness and cosmos. Humans reflect on existence, morality, and purpose, asking questions that transcend survival or utility. The narrator highlights the contrast between empirical observation and existential contemplation. While science describes how the universe operates, philosophy and ethics explore why it matters, how it is experienced, and what it could become. Through these inquiries, the universe gains self-reflection not only of structure but of meaning, value, and potential, dimensions inaccessible to matter alone. The camera returns to awe-inspiring cosmic vistas. Galaxies spiraling in slow motion, supernovae exploding with raw energy, black holes bending light around them, and nebulae glowing with stellar birth. The narrator emphasizes that human awareness, though small, connects intimately with these phenomena. Each observation, each calculation, each reflection forms part of a network through which the universe contemplates itself, not passively but with engagement, curiosity, and creativity. The cosmos experiences not only existence but observation, interpretation, and meaning through life capable of reflection. Finally, the narration draws the audience into contemplative meditation. Every thought, every observation, every act of art or science contributes to the ongoing awakening of cosmic self-awareness. The universe, through life and consciousness, experiences reflection, perception, and understanding at multiple scales. Humans, through their collective creativity, curiosity, and insight, amplify this awareness exponentially, forming a vast, interwoven web of self-reflection. The narrator emphasizes that this process is continuous, iterative, and expansive, bridging the smallest life forms with the largest cosmic structures, and connecting the fleeting moment of individual perception with the eternity of space and time. The section closes with a sweeping, cinematic panorama, galaxies glittering across the cosmos, nebulae pulsating with radiant energy, planets turning silently in orbit, and Earth glowing as a tiny blue beacon beneath a canopy of stars. The narrator's voice lingers on the profound insight. Humanity, along with all conscious life, is both instrument and mirror of the universe's awakening. Through thought, creativity, and reflection, the cosmos experiences, understands, and celebrates its own existence. Awareness has become a thread connecting matter, energy, life, and mind, forming a living continuum through which the universe contemplates, dreams, and ultimately knows itself. The universe stretches infinitely, a boundless expanse of stars, galaxies, and invisible currents of energy that defy comprehension. Yet through the emergence of consciousness, it has begun to perceive itself. The narrator opens with quiet awe, reflecting on the culmination of billions of years of cosmic evolution, from the formation of the first atoms to the rise of life, and ultimately to sentient beings capable of observation, reflection, and imagination. A continuous thread of awareness now weaves through existence. Every star that ignites, every galaxy that spins, every planet that forms, every living organism that awakens to its surroundings, contributes to this ongoing self-awareness. Through humanity, the universe has discovered a way to witness its own vastness, complexity, and beauty. Humanity is no longer merely a passive observer. It has become an instrument through which the cosmos experiences its own reality. The camera sweeps across the Earth at night, the glow of cities forming patterns that mirror constellations, while above, the Milky Way arcs majestically across the heavens. The narration emphasizes contrast. Humans, minute and transient, exist for mere moments in cosmic time, yet through thought, culture, and technology, they connect to distant galaxies, to the deep past, and even to potential futures of the cosmos itself. Through the networks of knowledge, language, and memory, human consciousness has become a medium for the universe to observe itself. Observation is no longer passive. It has become active, cumulative, and transformative, shaping both the observer and the observed. The narration then traces the evolution of understanding through human history. Millennia of inquiry, beginning with early stargazers charting the night sky and philosophers pondering existence, have gradually evolved into sophisticated systems of thought, logic, and experimentation. Mathematics, physics, astronomy, and neuroscience unravel the fundamental laws of nature and the intricate mechanisms of the mind. From the simplest observation of celestial movements to complex models predicting cosmic phenomena, humans have systematically deciphered the architecture of reality. The narrator underscores continuity. Each discovery builds upon the last, forming an ever-expanding mosaic of comprehension. Humanity, in this sense, acts as the universe's lens, transforming observation into reflection, and reflection into understanding. The camera moves from individual observation to collective human achievement. Ancient libraries preserve scrolls and manuscripts, medieval monasteries safeguard knowledge through centuries of turmoil, and modern digital networks transmit information instantaneously across the globe. The narration highlights the contrast between ephemeral individual lifespans and enduring collective awareness. While humans are born, live, and die in brief flashes, consciousness, encoded in culture, memory, and recorded knowledge, stretches across generations, continents, and even planetary boundaries. Humanity becomes a conduit through which the universe amplifies its own perception, building an intricate and enduring web of self-reflection. Philosophy, art, and creativity are integral to this process. Music, literature, visual art, and storytelling encode observation, intuition, and emotion into forms that can transcend time and space. The narrator emphasizes that through these expressions, the universe perceives itself in dimensions beyond empirical observation: aesthetic, emotional, symbolic, and abstract. Consciousness externalizes itself, translating raw experience into reflection, meaning, and beauty. Artistic expression allows the cosmos to feel its own rhythms, patterns, and harmonies, transforming observation into comprehension not only of structure but of significance. Through human creativity, the universe experiences abstraction, empathy, and imagination, discovering dimensions of itself it could not perceive through mere physical processes. The narration shifts to humanity's technological evolution, illustrating the ever-expanding reach of awareness. Telescopes probe the farthest galaxies, spacecraft explore distant planets and moons, supercomputers simulate the birth and death of stars, and particle accelerators investigate the fundamental particles of matter. The narrator emphasizes scale and contrast. Human bodies remain fragile and ephemeral, yet tools and technology extend perception across incomprehensible distances and time scales. Through these instruments, humans act as extensions of cosmic consciousness, observing and comprehending phenomena from the infinitesimal to the infinite. Each measurement, each calculation, each model, becomes a conduit for the universe to understand its own structure, dynamics, and potential. The narration then considers the philosophical implications of consciousness itself. What is awareness? How far can perception extend? Are thought, creativity, and reflection intrinsic to the universe or emergent phenomena arising from matter's complexity? These questions are not merely human inquiries, they are manifestations of the cosmos examining itself through the medium of conscious life. Curiosity, observation, and reflection become intertwined with existence itself, forming a feedback loop where the universe experiences, interprets, and evaluates its own evolution. Through this process, consciousness is both product and participant, mirror and lens, witness and actor. Time accelerates, showing civilizations rising and falling, ideas transmitted and preserved, and human culture expanding outward into space. The narrator emphasizes continuity and accumulation. Awareness is cumulative, growing across generations, societies, and epochs. Humans inherit the insights, mistakes, and creative expressions of countless predecessors, building upon them to extend the universe's capacity for understanding. Each insight, every experiment, every work of art, is a thread in an immense tapestry of reflection, a network through which the cosmos perceives its own evolution and potential. Humanity, in this sense, embodies the persistent memory of the universe, a living archive through which matter and consciousness converge. The narration explores future possibilities of awareness and self-reflection. Advanced artificial intelligence, neural networks, and interstellar exploration may further amplify consciousness beyond biological limits. The narrator highlights contrast. While individual humans are finite, awareness may extend, persist, and evolve across new substrates, environments, and scales. Consciousness becomes increasingly distributed, interconnected, and expansive, potentially spanning entire planets, star systems, or even the cosmic web itself. Humanity, along with its creations, continues to serve as the medium through which the universe experiences and understands its own unfolding complexity. Philosophy and art remain central to this cosmic dialogue. Humans continue to interpret, question, and represent the universe in ways that transcend observation alone. Music encodes emotion and rhythm. Literature captures imagination, reflection, and morality. Visual art expresses abstract concepts and the ineffable. Through these creative acts, the cosmos experiences its own beauty, complexity, and significance. Awareness is no longer confined to mere analysis or prediction. It embraces empathy, aesthetic perception, and the symbolic dimensions of existence. The universe perceives not only what is but also what could be, through the lens of human imagination. The narration then considers humanity's place within the cosmic cycle. Individuals, societies, and species may rise and fall, yet the cumulative awareness of conscious life persists. The universe is both witness and participant in its own story, and humanity acts as a focal point where observation, reflection, and creation intersect. Through collective cognition, life becomes an amplifier of cosmic consciousness, a lens through which the universe observes its own history, structures, and possibilities. Each discovery and act of creativity adds to a layered, interwoven narrative that spans billions of years. Finally, the narration draws to a meditative, reflective close. Every thought, observation, and act of creation contributes to the ongoing awakening of the universe. Consciousness, memory, and creativity are not only human achievements. They are expressions of the cosmos itself, a means through which the universe experiences, evaluates, and dreams of its own existence. Humanity is simultaneously mirror and vessel, observer and participant. The narrator emphasizes that awareness, once a fragile spark, has now grown into a vast, interconnected resonance that spans matter, energy, life, and mind. The section concludes with a sweeping, cinematic panorama. Earth glowing beneath a star-filled sky, spiral galaxies spinning in the distance, nebulae pulsating with light and energy, and the cosmic web stretching into infinite depths. The narrator leaves the audience with a profound insight. Through thought, creativity, science, and reflection, humanity participates in the universe's awakening. Each insight, each artistic creation, each scientific discovery is a step in the ongoing journey of self-realization. The cosmos, once silent and inert, is now alive with awareness, perceiving, dreaming, and contemplating itself through the living, thinking, and creative beings it has brought into existence. Humanity is both witness and instrument, mirror and messenger, a vessel through which the universe knows, experiences, and celebrates the grandeur of its own infinite being.